Hello friends, I am Dr. Jason from Providence Neuro. A respectable old lady who I know had lost her husband recently and was grieving. She was getting a comfortable pension but had a difficult time adjusting to the loss of intimacy, and during an emotional moment she said, "Doctor, I worked very hard to educate my children and I gave them first class education. But did I make a mistake by educating them too much? Now they are all independent and nobody wants to stay with me." I don't think she meant it literally, but I want to explore the emotion behind it and try to answer the question, does love require people to be dependent on each other? In other words, is love compatible with freedom? Human relationships are complex, but through the neurological lens, any behavior is explained in terms of stimulus and response, right? Do you remember how mother hens respond to their chicks? The chicks have to keep chirping, and the chirping sound is the biological stimulus which evokes the loving response from the mother hen. If the mother hen happens to be deaf, it cannot hear the chirping sound, and so it ignores her chicks. Now, why am I talking about hens and chicks? Because the same principles apply to human relationships also. Human babies make cute babbling noises and toddlers keep asking silly questions. As soon as you reach home, what does your toddler do? They will get excited and go, "Mummy, mummy, 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 look at this, mummy, look what I found, mummy, sit with me." Basically, they'll be clamoring for your attention, right? This is the human equivalent of chirping. This kind of cute talk from your children functions as a biological stimulus which evokes a loving response from within you. So you see that nature is designed in such a way that love as a behavioral response is nurtured by appropriate stimuli. And as we grow up, talking, joking, arguing and other shared activities function as biological stimuli, and they evoke various responses like friendship, brotherhood, rivalry, etc. So love is nurtured by stimuli, but our question is whether love needs dependence. Small children are dependent on their parents for everything. And even as adults, we may depend on each other for financial, physical, or social needs. But here's where things become more interesting. Even when two people in a loving relationship are independent, they exchange stimuli which are symbolic of dependence. For example, why do couples give expensive gifts to each other? By giving a gift, you're symbolically providing for the other person, even though in reality they can take care of themselves, right? And why do you feel excited when you accept a gift? That's your body trying to tell the other person how much you want to be dependent on him or her. "Oh, how much I need you. What will I do without you?" That kind of thing. So we can see how a simple act of gift giving can function as a biological stimulus and set off various responses and counter responses. Take the example of hugging and holding hands. Evolutionarily, ancient humans depended on physical closeness for safety and protection from dangerous animals. But to this day, hugging serves as a biological stimulus that evokes feelings of friendship, brotherhood, and love. Take cooking. Cooking your own food at home is not only good for your health, it's also an expression of love and interdependence. Do you agree? So you can see that exchanging appropriate stimuli is the core component of the recipe for love. Society can move from dependence to independence, but the central concept will not change. In other words, we don't need to be tied to each other based on physical and financial needs, but we are still dependent on others for biological stimuli which regulate our emotions and give meaning to life. That's why we need to keep touching, stimulating, and nurturing each other. Studies show that babies need to be touched physically in order to thrive, otherwise they'll become stunted. And as we grow older, attention becomes the mental equivalent of touch. When you shower your loved ones with attention, relationships grow. On the flip side, if you are too busy to attend to their needs, relationships die a natural death. If relationship is a tree, attention is water. Mutual attention is what nourishes a relationship. We are so emotionally dependent on attention and validation from our loved ones that they become a part of our own self-identity. That's why sometimes when we lose a loved one, it feels like we are losing a part of ourselves. Returning to the old lady I introduced in the beginning, was she wrong to raise independent children? I think what she was really grieving was not their freedom, but the silence, the loss of stimulus. Her house, which once echoed with sounds of conversation, laughter, and screams, had now fallen silent. And that is what broke her heart. You let me know your valuable opinion in the comments. And today you make a decision to be mindful of your relationship with others and make a decision to nurture them. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Bye and see you in the next video.